Welcome back to part 2 of my after prom disaster. This part is gonna get a little bit heavy. It's talking a lot about like abuse in a relationship. So if you guys have any triggers, then just know that there might be some in this. Hopefully, like, this is a learning experience. It was a learning experience for me, and I hope that you guys can take away something from this. But yeah, just sit back, relax, get a drink, get a snack, because this one is a lot. Thankfully, my hiccups are gone, so let's get through this now, shall we? I did a video on Jess's channel of Everybody Has a Story, just like this exact story. So if you guys want it, if you want, you guys can go and check that one out. But basically, the next day after my that whole thing with Matthew and them, I ended up finding Ted again, and that day, like the next day, we ended up all going to the beach. So it was Ted, it was me, it was Heather, it was a bunch of other, like, of our friends just chilling at the beach. And as we're kind of like lying on the beach chilling, Ted and some of the guys start like doing some drugs on the beach, and you know, I'm not really about it, so I ended up just kind of standing up with Heather, and I'm like, let's go and like get something to eat, or like go find sushi or something like that. And I remember Ted wrapped his arms around my legs as I was standing, and he was lying, and he's like, no, don't leave, stay here. And I'm like, listen, I'm hungry, I'm gonna leave. If you wanna come, come. If not, I'll see you later. So I just left, and I was kind of like fed up with him already from like the other day. So I left, and Heather and I ended up spending like hours together looking for the sushi, having a good time. We ended up in some pool at some hotel somewhere and just like swimming, and it was nice. The weather was beautiful. You know, we had a few drinks. It was a really nice time with Heather, and her and I were having so much fun. And then a couple hours later, Ted comes storming in, and he's like yelling and screaming and stomping around. He's like, I really have to talk to you. And I'm like I've been dealing with this for the whole year. I'm like super over it, and like just completely annoyed by him, and like just like I don't want to deal with it, the drama. So I just kind of ignore him, and he's like, Mandy, like, you're breaking my heart right now, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, well, okay, like that's serious, like I'm breaking your heart, okay. So I got out, and we ended up going into this hotel room that, like, it wasn't a hotel by any means. It was like a motel, sketchy, dirty place. And we ended up going into one of the rooms, and there's only one little window at the back of the room, and there's only one door, one way in and one way out, and there's no other source of light or window or door anywhere. And so I go in, he locks the door, and he's standing in front of the door, and he is high on cocaine, you know, marijuana, alcohol, mushrooms, all these kinds of things together. His pupils are massive. I don't know what else he did, but he was enraged, angry, violent, scary. And you know, all the times that he would push and shove me and punch the wall beside my face and take my phone away and break things and throw things, I was never scared of him until this moment. Because I honestly thought I was gonna die. I honestly thought that I was either gonna die or get really hurt, and I didn't know how to get out or escape. And I remember trying to get out, and he would block the way, and I remember saying, Ted, get out of the way, step aside, let me out of this room right now. And I remember I just kept saying that, and he kept like pacing back and forth and like grabbing his head and like angry, and I'm like, don't even want to know why he's angry. I don't care to know. I just want to get out of that situation. And at the end of the day, he was mad because I left at the beach to get food while he was doing drugs and everything on the beach. So he gets mad because I'm not listening to him, and he's pacing around and he's throwing things and he's breaking things in this room, and I'm just like trying to figure out how to escape, how to get out. And then I'm kind of talking over him, like, just let me out of the room, just let me out of the room. And he's like, you're not listening to me. And he grabs my head and he shakes me, and he like has me like my hair in his grasp, and he like lifts his like arm to like punch me in the face. And I think he like realized what he was doing, and he like stopped himself, and then he was just kind of like shocked and like stunned, and I ended up running out of the room at that moment. And I grabbed Heather, and I'm crying at this point. I'm crying, and I'm like, I need to get out of this. I need to like, we need to leave. Like, her parents were gonna pick us up in like 2 days from then. So I'm like, no, we need to leave. He knows where I am. I can't sleep at night. We're in danger. I'm scared. He almost just hit me in there. He wouldn't let me out. Like, we need to go. And Heather was super cool. She was like, okay, I'll call my parents right now. Like, they're on their way. Just pack your stuff and we'll go. So I remember we went back in. He wasn't there. We were packing our stuff, and like he was with his 2 other friends. We went to pack up our stuff, and then I remember one of his friends came up and was like, Mandy, like, you need to go talk to Ted right now. And I'm like, why? And he's like, she was like, because he doesn't know that you broke up with him. That wasn't clarified. I think that you owe him, you know, a face-to-face breakup, blah, blah, blah. And I remember I kept saying, like, I don't owe him anything. He almost just, like he almost hurt me in there. He did hurt me, but he almost punched me. Like, I'm scared of him. He's on drugs. Like, I don't want to. Like, he should know that it's over by what he did. And she was like, no, you need to go and, like, let him know. And whatever. So after a lot of arguing, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna break up with him, and then we're gonna leave. And we have to leave like right after, because like I don't want to be in a bad situation. Stupid me. Nobody do this. Please don't ever do this, what I did. So I went looking for him, and I found him in this like abandoned parking lot. And I ended up sitting on the curb with him, and I told him, like, you know, this just isn't working out. It doesn't work between the 2 of us. You have really bad anger issues. I really, like, I love you and I care about you, and I think you really need to get some help. I think you should go to like anger management kind of thing. You know, you should lay off the drugs, and like they bring out the worst in you kind of thing. And I remember he started stomping like a child. And he is a tall, big guy. Like, he's strong and he's scary and he's tall. He started stomping on the ground like a toddler. No, 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 like that. And I'm like, okay, now's the time for me to go. So I stood up, I started walking up to Heather to say, okay, let's go. And out from behind me, from the back of me, he took my phone out of my hands and he held it up, and he's like, you're not leaving. I have your phone, you can't leave. I'm not giving it back to you until you like talk to me more, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, give me my phone right now. And I just remember yelling at him and screaming at him and just saying, give me my phone. Like, what the hell? Like, why are you taking my things? Why are you like obsessing over this and like demanding things of me, and like just thinking that you have the authority to tell me what to do and to take my things away from me? Like, people who think like that are deranged. Like, I don't understand. So anyways, he had my phone, and I remember like even his friends and my friends were like, give her her phone, like what the hell? And there was a car there. He took his head and he smashed it onto the car so that there was a dent. An indent on the car. He gave me back my phone, and I started walking away with Heather. As I'm walking away, he's yelling, don't leave me, come back, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And I just ignoring him, and I'm just walking, and I'm so scared. I'm like praying to God as I'm walking, like, get me out of this situation, please, like keep me safe, keep me and Heather safe kind of thing. And I remember he like ran after us with the longboard in his hands, and he threw it at me. And he said, if you leave right now, I'm gonna call your mom, and I'm gonna tell her that you've been doing drugs, that you've been like doing illegal things here, and like just blatant lies. He wanted to call my mom and tell her horrible lies just to get me in trouble and to like get me grounded and to like my mom never let me out again kind of thing. So I literally turned around and I'm like, do whatever you want. Like, if You think that like blackmailing me is gonna make me want to be with you? Like if I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, like out of fear being with you? Like people, he was psycho. Oh my gosh, he was psycho. Like among the other things that had been done to me already by him. Whew, I can't. So anyways, Heather's parents ended up picking us up and I was a mess for the rest of the summer, crying all the time, wondering if I should go back with him or not, wondering if I made a mistake, blaming myself. And honestly, you guys, like, I blamed myself for the horrific things that he did to me for years. Even today, I deal with some internal things that I know, like, none of it was my fault, but like some of it is like I'm embarrassed to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's, oh my gosh, that scared me so bad. I just want you guys to like never have to feel or go through what I went through. Like I should have known like the red flags, a person who's yelling and screaming in your face, somebody who's breaking things around you, like punching the walls beside you, a violent person who's always getting into fights, who's jealous, who's possessive, who has anger problems. Like those are not the kind of people that you want to be in a loving, beautiful, peaceful, tender relationship with. And granted, like he obviously has some mental illness issues with anger, and like I know a lot of good people that do have anger management, but you have to sort that out. You have to own that, and you have to work towards bettering yourself. Like that just isn't an excuse for bad behavior. No mental illness is an excuse for bad behavior. I'm sorry, like there's none. You have to recognize it, and you have to own it, and you have to work towards managing it and bettering yourself, period. So, and you shouldn't be with a person who like needs, if somebody like can't take care of themselves, then they can't take care of you in a relationship. Like you need somebody who is like solid, sturdy, secure person in their own selves. And it's just, I mean, there's so much I could say about this, but anyways, like, you know, today I hear some stuff about Ted. I've heard that, you know, he has been arrested a bunch of times. He's like in gangs, like cocaine related gangs, that he, you know, was walking around like a neighborhood next to mine with a gun once, and that he's wanted by authorities right now for stealing a car. I don't know, like these are the things that I hear about him, and I just think about it today like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? And like, he's a scary person, and I really truly hope that like he gets the help that he needs, and like he kind of like gets some kind of a wake-up call to change his life, you know, because the guy that I met when I got, you know, when I first got into high school, like he was nice to me and he protected me, but it was all at a cost, and there was a catch, and it just sucks. It just sucks. But I got out of the relationship, and guess what, you guys? I learned from it. I will never be with somebody like him with all those red flags. I know the red flags, and I know how to like help other people that are in abusive relationships because I've been there and I know what it's like. And I'm telling you guys that you do have the strength to leave. And if you are afraid for your life when it comes to leaving, there are ways, okay? Go to the cops, go to the authorities, go to a friend, go to a family member. Like there are ways, you guys. You are not stuck. You don't have to deal with this for the rest of your life, especially if you have kids. If you have kids that are like susceptible, like into the environment that is negative and violent, it's not okay. None of it's okay. And none of it is your fault either. None of it's your fault. And like I said, I want to just clarify that women can be just as abusive as men. I don't want any of you men watching who might be in an abusive relationship with a woman. my perspective, like from my personal experience, is with the abuse of a man, but I understand that there can be different circumstances and different, like, in every type of person, every sex, every gender, every whatever. Anybody can be abusive. So, you know, but it's not your fault and you can get out of it. So I just love you. I support you. I really hope this video helps. But anyways, that was my after prom disaster story. So if you guys have any crazy prom or after prom experiences, let me know. I think prom is so overrated. Like, the only fun, great thing about prom is like getting a dress and dressing up. But you know, you guys know me, like I hated my high school experience. I know so many people loved their high school experience and really enjoy their high school experience and enjoy their prom. For me, not so much. I'm just, you know, maybe I'm just bitter, I don't know. But I hope that all of you guys who are going to your prom this year have an amazing time. I really, really, really hope that for you. And just stay away from crazy people and make sure that you do what Heather and I did and if you're doing an after prom thing, get a hotel or an inn or a cabin a little bit further away from everybody else so that you don't have to be in that drama. You know, when people are drinking and they're kids, things can happen. Bad things can happen. So just be aware, be safe, be responsible, you guys. I love you so much. Don't forget to leave in the comment section your personal experiences, and I will read every single one of them. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button because I do make videos every single week. Click the notification bell, and I love you guys so much. Bye.